that horse, look at that horse, look at that horse. So, on June 28th, during Beyonce's first show in Houston, the car that she flies around on while singing 16 Carriages became tilted to a dangerous degree to the point that she had to stop singing and stop the show.
Stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop.
She and the car were brought back down to the ground. And then she walked back to the main stage and finished performing the song. Well, the following night in Houston, the car was gone, and so was 16 Carriages from the set list. Yeah, she didn't perform that song. And then she didn't perform that song her next two shows, which were in DC. But then last night, during her first show in Atlanta, Beyonce had quite the reveal. Yeah, Beyonce introduced a new flying vehicle, a horse. Some people are calling it a golden colored horse. Some people are calling it a Chardonnay colored horse. That's an interesting choice. Now, Beyonce didn't give it a color in her Instagram caption, but she certainly showed it off in the first 4 photos of her Instagram carousel for the night. It's funny that I referenced the silver horse from the Renaissance tour during my segment of the tilted car. Now, this shiny new horse is more advanced because its legs move during flight, as opposed to being static on the silver horse. It looks amazing. My one thought is, man, that's an expensive cost to take on with only 6 shows to go. Obviously, Beyonce can afford it. Cowboy Carter is going to be one of the most highest grossing tours ever. Now, I will say personally, I would be nervous about, or hesitant to get back on the saddle, so to speak, so quickly. Now, maybe part of the reason that I'd be nervous because I'm uninformed of what caused the car to tilt, like why that happened, and what is happening now to ensure that doesn't happen again. So maybe if I knew all that information, surely Beyonce knows that. Beyonce is surely fully informed of what happened and how it's going to be prevented going forward. So maybe if I had that information, I'd be more comfortable in doing that. I'm happy to see Beyonce is now wired as a safety measure herself. Because I was looking at that horse and thinking, the same thing happens. If she happens to, if it happens to tilt on her, Beyonce doesn't have the same resistance mechanisms in place. Because that car, it did have a felt surface. She was wearing denim, so there would have been friction there that prevented her from sliding down. And then she also could wedge her legs into the side of that vehicle to prevent her from sliding down. With that horse, I mean, yeah, you don't have that option. I mean, it's a very slippery, a very slick surface. Yeah, she doesn't have anywhere to wedge her feet. So, I mean, yeah, if it tilted, the only thing she would have is to hold onto that wire. So I'm happy to see that she is separately wired now. She wasn't before. She's separately wired that if it did tilt, hopefully she isn't tilting too. I'm surprised that they have this new vehicle in place so quickly, and all the kinks have been worked out and she's comfortable doing it. It's amazing. Yeah, Beyonce's very much go on with the show kind of person, but yeah, it does make me nervous. But yeah, what do you think of her cutting out 16 carriages until she had another vehicle to ride around the stadium? She could have just done it from the stage, no one would have minded. But yeah, it's back. What are your thoughts?